This is Saturday Morning Mysteries.
And we're your hosts, Alexis and Grace. Hello, good morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time of the day it is. Welcome to Saturday Morning Mysteries, where we're your hosts. I'm Alexis.
I'm Grace.
And today continues Grace's portion of our new, amazing, absolutely wild, and not new, sorry. Yeah, almost done with now. Second to last episode.
It's my last episode.
Feels new. Well, it's new in our
does.
hearts and minds. Not actually,
True.
no. But it's the wildly more violent than we expected show, TaleSpin. Yes, a Disney classic. So, Grace, take us on another flight, I suppose, with Baloo. Wherever they're headed.
Both more violent than expected and more like, again, we should have expected this. This was a Disney's 90s show. We should have expected it to be making a lot of violent references and, social
Shame
references. I know. Yeah, fool us once.
Right. Never again.
What was the George Bush quote again?
Fool, he didn't even know it. Fool me once.
I know, exactly.
Shame on me. Fool me twice. Shame
also on
you, on me. Also,
who knows? He didn't fucking know what it was.
3 times again. Like, that's probably closer to what he said than what he actually meant. Yeah.
Well, anyways, he probably said that shortly after within a decade after this episode aired. So
at some point.
Yep. So anyways, today, yes, my final episode of TaleSpin. We do have one more after this that Alexis will be doing, but this is my last one. And today I'm going to be doing season 1, episode 46 of TaleSpin, called Bringing Down Babyface. And of course, the title is a play on the 1938, well, they're all a play on something. The 1938 comedy called Bringing Up Baby, which has a plot that has nothing to do with this episode at all. So, like, don't worry about it. I'm pretty sure the comedy was like, they adopted a lion and are raising the lion and shenanigans ensue. It sounds fucking insane.
And in the year 1938, they used an actual lion.
And that lion was fucking traumatized. Like, people handling the lion had to go to the hospital without a doubt. I'm sure the production was insane. And someone absolutely died probably making that film.
Absolutely. Yeah. They probably went through like 4 stunt people.
Including 4 stunt lions. Like, it's grim. Grim times to be making movies that had animals in them. So, our episode, there's not even a lion in it, I would say. So, forget that plot entirely. They're not raising
not even a tiger.
Yeah, not even a tiger, which would just be raising another orphan probably in this universe. Would be raising a wild animal.
Any other person, any other citizen.
Creature, citizen.
Yeah.
So, Alexis, we have today a large bear with a thick mustache and a black and red suit outside of a police station. But he's not standing idly by this police station. No, instead, we find him tucking and rolling, looking for a plane to swoop down and get him, because he is currently actively being shot at from someone in the street, also wearing a very fine suit, shooting a revolver at this bear. At the same time, obviously there's gunshots outside of this police station. So now we have cops streaming out, also shooting directly at this bear. The one in the street is holding like a manhole cover as a shield, which, as he jumps into the sewers below, one of the cop bullets ricochets off of the manhole cover. It hits the police station sign above the front entrance, which makes the sign fall off and land directly onto the cops.
Ugh.
And now we see this mustached bear suddenly has no mustache. And we realize this is Baloo. And his fake mustache.
Oh, what did he do?
Has fallen off just as Becky and Kit break the seaplane out of the evidence lot behind the cop station.
Oh my God.
and swoop down to save Baloo, who tucks and rolls in and is able to escape the gunfire, the downed cops, and the someone else shooting at him who's now escaped into the sewers.
And that, kids, is how you reclaim your confiscated property from the police.
You
Do
just
it as
start
big and boldly as possible. Make a scene.
create other crimes that they'll need evidence for, that they'll forget about this first piece of evidence.
Yeah, they'll let you keep the car after you do something even worse.
After you essentially assault two police officers, that'll be so much bigger of their concern.
Exactly.
And let someone else go who was also maybe part of your crime, maybe was after you, maybe after the cops. We don't know yet, because Alexis, how exactly did we end up here? You may be thinking
good question.
Right now.
I've been thinking that. I'm hoping that you started us in the middle of the episode and this isn't really how the episode begins, but I wouldn't put it past Disney to start an episode this way.
You're not wrong on that comment, but yes. Let's rewind to see how we ended up in this cop and other shootout with the seaplane in evidence being basically bailed out by Becky and Kit. How did they wind up in this as well, in Baloo's potential crimes here?
Okay.
So we start out with Baloo and Kit, rewinding here, returning from their most recent delivery. And Kit reaches into the glove box to grab something. And hundreds of little papers kind of fly out as Kit does this. And speaking of Baloo's crimes, we realize these are hundreds of unpaid parking tickets.
Yikes.
The first crime of this episode.
Okay. Yeah. Checks out for Baloo.
It checks out for Baloo. And Kit is like, Baloo, you have to pay these. Like,
yeah, you're going to get arrested soon, buddy.
This seaplane could be, what is it?
Possessed.
Possessed. Impounded, thank you. Yeah. Aren't you scared?
I guess repossessed, not possessed.
Repossessed, that's the word.
Yeah, like possessed by a ghost.
Cops are going to come after you. And Baloo, who like, Disney, what is your messaging here? We've never seen Baloo in a pair of sunglasses this entire season. He slow-mo puts on a pair of sunglasses and is like, nah, Kit. This is small potatoes, these parking tickets. I'm not breaking any big laws. Cops, they don't care about they only care about mobsters and high-speed chases and robberies, real criminals. And I don't dabble with those types. Parking tickets, who cares?
The sunglasses, though? I mean, what? Are they trying to make him seem like the Fonz or something?
They're being like, cool. Small crimes are cool, kids. And they don't matter.
Yeah.
And yes, Baloo does go on to say, cops, they don't care about these small potato crimes, jaywalking, parking tickets. It doesn't really matter. They want to go after the big ones, the mobsters, the gangsters, the, presumably drug traffickers, et cetera, et cetera.
Yes.
But when they get back to the office, Baloo is immediately given his next assignment by Becky.
Of course.
And to his horror, well, as we know, Becky, she's all about getting that money. She doesn't care the means, the type of jobs.
Yeah.
She's not out there doing the deliveries, the transfers.
The dirty work.
If you will. The dirty work, if you will.
Uh-huh.
And I say transfers because this next delivery is a personnel transfer.
Oh, okay.
From a place Baloo's maybe very familiar with, which is a supermax prison.
Yeah. He is quite familiar.
He's very familiar, as we know. He will be doing a transfer of an infamous mobster from jail to his upcoming trial.
Go on.
Infamous mobster is named Babyface Half Nelson.
half Nelson. Now that part surprised me.
So
Interesting.
we're going to
Okay.
quick pause here for something this show does often, not often enough, in my opinion, which is
Mm,
inserting sneaky little references to real life things and people. And
yeah.
this baby face half Nelson is no different because, yes, there once was indeed an actual mobster slash gangster named Babyface Nelson, aka
Mhm.
Lester Joseph Gillis, who was a bank
Hmm.
robber, a gang leader, a crime partner of the even more well-known John Dillinger,
Yeah.
including helping Dillinger once escape from prison at one point.
Yeah.
Um, he was part of that like very infamous kind of like 20s and 30s public enemy number one group. Like
Mm.
the FBI basically came out with like a handful of these bank robbers during this like prohibition era.
Most
Um,
wanted.
Yep, exactly. And they were literally called, yeah, all public enemy number one or public
Yeah.
enemies at one point.
Okay. It's like they can't all be number one, can
At one
they?
point, basically, as they got killed by the FBI, they would each move up to number one.
Oh man,
And
that's not the
Babyfield,
kind of bracket you like to
no,
see. No,
you hate
that's,
to see it happen.
yeah, at least they do. I guess the
Yeah, you're
public
like
appreciates it.
trying to lay it low
It's
here.
like, no, I want to keep a low
Yeah,
seed.
I
I
don't want to be
don't.
number one.
Yeah.
Keep me out of the top three here. Come on.
Yeah.
So, yes, at
Wow.
some point, he indeed became public enemy number one.
Mm.
He lived from 1908 to 1934, which hilariously, I mean, I guess it's true. His occupation on Wikipedia is listed as gangster, bank robber, murderer, which, like,
Uh,
I guess is his job,
I
but like,
guess that's a
he's not getting
job. I mean,
paid to murder
you don't pay
people.
taxes. There's no W-2s or
Were
I-9s. I
there.
don't know. Well, actually, that's a good
20s and
point.
30s was a fucking crazy time in
It was a long
America.
time, and I'm sure he
Who
was washing that
knows?
money somehow. For all we know, he
Exactly.
worked for a laundromat or something
Yeah, for
that
sure.
he owned. Yeah.
And as of 2001, which I specifically say because this was the source that Wikipedia cited, so I don't know if it's still true, but
Hmm.
as of 2001, at least, Babyface Nelson was said to have killed more FBI agents than any other criminal. And
Wow.
yep, because there was tons of shootouts. They were always on their
Yeah.
tails. And so he died in a shootout with the FBI a few months after John Dillinger did, which was during the big FBI's big crackdown on mobs and gangsters at the time.
Hmm.
Anyways,
Interesting.
I love this little nod because I absolutely read a book on John Dillinger just before the 2009 movie Public Enemies came out, which was,
Oh,
I think,
nice.
also called Public Enemies. So,
Yeah.
just your usual like sophomore in high school girly reads.
Book
Uh,
club.
book clubs.
Yeah.
So yes, as soon as they said Babyface Half Nelson in the show, I was like, wait a second. And let
Well,
me tell you, this is not the last reference to like a 20 and 30s gangster. So we
oh.
will return to this topic. And
Mm.
again, the writers also loving it, I guess.
Okay.
So back to our show here. As you can imagine, Baloo is a little shook and yes, probably traumatized from his experience in a supermax prison not
He's
so
like, I don't want to do that
recently.
again.
Yep, he's like, I don't want to get mixed up back there. But Becky is like, no job is too small or big or silly or dangerous for you, Baloo, to take for us. A
Hmm.
government contract? That's a big deal here.
We've
That's a
got to
good
do it.
customer.
Hmm.
So, Baloo is like trying to get out of this and is like saying dumb shit. Like, Becky, I don't even know what Babyface looks like. How am I supposed to pick him up? Like, how am I supposed to
I've
get the right person?
never even seen a plane before. I
I
can't
don't
fly
even,
there.
what am I supposed to do here? And Becky is like, okay, well, you'll know who he is because he's going to be the one who's fucking handcuffed and wearing prison stripes, Baloo. Like,
Yeah.
you're going to, like, accompanied by a cop. Like, get out of here.
They're, they're not just gonna have you like send you into an airport, like, all right, good luck finding him. Like
Yeah,
he's here
like a little
somewhere.
sign.
Yes.
Like, he's gonna have a bodyguard the entire time.
Yeah.
He's gonna be cuffed. Like you're getting him from a
Yeah.
super max. This is like a mob
Exactly.
leader.
He's probably in like a straitjacket. He's probably, yeah, super
This is
cuffed. Like,
a public enemy number one, or at least one through
exactly.
10 at some point.
Well, yeah, he's in the top 20 for sure.
Yeah, for sure. In this universe, he didn't die in a cop shootout yet, potentially.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Anyways, so meanwhile, somewhere else on Cape Suzette, we go to a back alley where there is an old sweet lady. She's a dog. She looks like a little granny. She's got the white hair, kind of the moo with an apron on.
Mhm.
She's swinging under, she's on a little rocking chair, a little swing chair, underneath a single street lamp, just knitting away. And we hear her saying how much she misses her sweet boy, her
Oh,
son. And she hopes that they, and we see her talking to two very large bulldogs in
oh
suits,
no.
of course. She hopes that they will do everything in their power to bring her sweet boy home for his birthday tomorrow. And
Okay.
these two mobster looking dogs, they're bulldogs. They're clearly they're clearly kind of just some muscle here. They don't seem like they're the smartest. And they're like, "Well, yeah, that's what you hired us for, but we're just kind of underlings here. We've never actually gotten to work with your son. How
Oh.
are we gonna know who we're picking up here?" And the
Oh.
Granny says, "Well, he'll have a sparkle in his eye, the sweetest smile anyone could ever have." And then she throws down what she's knitting and says, and screams in their face, saying, "Plus, he's the one who's gonna look like a prisoner, you idiots."
Ah.
So,
All right, Granny. She's like,
Granny,
I don't have time for these idiots. I have
Granny's
shit to
like,
knit.
the sting that happened got all of our best fucking men, and now I'm stuck with you buffoons.
Yeah, right.
Go get my son. So she calms down again and gives the goons a little present to bring Babyface. Because, yes, we realize this is Babyface, half Nelson's mother, Granny
Yes.
Babyface, Mama Babyface. And this is his birthday present, is that she's hired some goons to break him out of jail and bring him home for
Oh
his
boy.
birthday.
Okay.
And clearly, Mama Babyface here is the like kind of de facto leader of this gang, a la old
Naturally.
Ma Barker, who was the matriarch of the Barker gang, who
Mm,
operated at the same time as the actual Babyface Nelson. And she
mm.
was killed in 1935 in another FBI
Shootout.
shootout. Yep.
Hmm.
J. Edgar
They love
Hoover
them.
called her, quote, the most vicious, dangerous, and resourceful criminal brain of the last decade.
Mm.
This little old lady. But there is some historical debate around how involved she was or was not in her
Yeah.
family's like crimes. Her sons were all part of the Barker gang. The debate is basically like, was she the actual like brain and leader of it? Or did we accidentally kill a 61-year-old mother in the FBI shootout at the same time? And so we had to say she was the brains of the whole thing.
I was gonna say, whenever
Whenever J. Edgar Hoover says something.
that also, I was like, he's not a trustworthy source. But no,
Nope.
whenever the CIA or the FBI, MI6, Interpol, whomever, whenever they're like, oh, this person's a
They
genius.
use some
This person,
superlatives
like
like
when they're
that.
making themselves look less intelligent or less capable,
Yes.
you can assume that this person is actually a buffoon and they're just covering their own asses to make it
Something went
look
wrong.
like, yeah, exactly. They're like, oh no, this person is a genius.
We
Like
had to
our
take her out.
best agents, yeah, our best agents couldn't even figure it out. They were under attack. They,
Right, especially in like
trust
1935,
me.
where like women were simply just like innocent little wallflowers type of thing
Yeah,
to be like
yeah,
the most vicious date, like a senior superlative moment. Yeah, you're so
exactly.
right.
Yeah,
That's
you know.
got some
Just I'm
questions.
just an
Just
observation that's
reflecting.
probably not right, but
I mean,
yeah,
she was probably,
reflect. I'm probably super wrong, but I don't know. It makes you wonder,
but
doesn't
it
it?
makes you
Just
think. But
like that.
we're talking about Mama Babyface, who's a old
A
lady
cartoon.
bulldog, not
Yeah.
J. Edgar Hoover and the FBI
Yeah.
in the 1930s
Yeah.
and beyond up
I'm just
until this
talking
day.
about
What?
in animated shows. That seems to be what happens,
They're not
not
just like
in
us.
real life. They're not like us. They're not like us.
Not like us. So we head to the Supermax prison where it's basically like an Alcatraz style situation,
Yeah.
also very timely to the real life where all these gangsters were going. And we finally see, I'm just going to call him Babyface from here on out.
Okay.
He's standing on the docks, handcuffed, of course, to a guard. He is like the classic, just like he's also a bulldog. He's a thick
Hmm.
boy, let's
Oh,
just
okay.
say. Thick
All
boy
right.
here with like a
Two
patch. He's got
C's.
yeah, two C's, a K and a Q at the end here. He's a thick boy.
All sorts of thick.
He's got like an army crew cut kind of like hair. It's orange, like, I don't know. He's clearly supposed to be like a Irishman, probably, but no accent.
Oh,
He's got
okay.
kind of a like vague Northeastern, really gruff accent going on.
Mhm.
He's in the classic black and white striped jumpsuit. His prison number is K99, which is
Of
funny because he's a dog.
course. Yeah, of course.
Um, he's yes, handcuffed to Officer Malarkey in the classic blue uniform. And Alexis, three things about Officer Malarkey. Four things. One, his name's Malarkey, which is
Oh,
funny.
yeah. Funny.
Two, he has got the most Irish of Irish accents,
Oh boy.
which is
Like,
very hard to do. I've realized I was trying to do one for this, and I was like, how the fuck do you do an Irish accent? Like, it's very challenging. I will try and throw it in here maybe every now and then. It will be bad. I will
okay.
offend the entire country of Ireland here with this Irish accent. Three, who do you think it's voiced by?
Of course, our boy Jim.
Jim Cummings.
Jim
Yep.
Cummings, of
Left, right, and
course.
center in the show. He's doing
I
his
love
best
it.
Irish accent. It's actually pretty good. And well,
Okay.
Alexis, yeah, the animator said, let's picture a pig here. I mean, a cop.
Mhm.
I mean, what do we picture
Oh,
when we picture a
lol.
cop? A pig.
Amazing.
So they animated Officer Malarkey here as a
As the
pig.
pig. So he's an
Yep,
Irish pig. All
an Irish
right.
pig, Officer Malarkey. So they are standing out here on the docks waiting to be picked up. Obviously, Officer Malarkey will be escorting the bulldog Babyface to
Yes.
his trial. So they know that the seaplane, their ride is coming soon. And Babyface, he's looking a little shifty-eyed here. He's looking around, noticing on this
Mhm.
foggy night that there don't seem to be any other cops out here on the dock with them.
Mhm.
And Babyface says like he's shifting around and he's like, I think I got a rock or something here in my shoe, officer. You mind if I just try and get that out really quick? And Malarkey doesn't care. He's like, yeah, sure, make it snappy. But their ride is gonna be there soon, so won't you hurry it up here? So
Okay.
Babyface leans down, and of course, takes his shoe off because clearly this was not just him getting a rock out of his shoe.
Yeah, he's up to
Uh,
something.
he's up to something, and he takes his sock off, which we see emanating green smoke.
Ah.
Of course,
Oh.
he basically says he's never, ever, ever washed these socks, so they must be
Oh.
rank. And he springs up and basically chloroforms Officer Malarkey because he
Oh.
holds it up to his mouth, and the officer just passes out.
Great.
So
Uh,
here I'm thinking we're going to do a quick uniform change, a
mhm.
very gingerly done uniform change, maybe find the key to the cuffs.
Yeah. I mean, for sure, whatever you're gonna do next, it should involve getting out of your prisoner
Correct.
outfit, because that would make someone stand out like a sore thumb.
Yes,
So,
indeed, including to the multiple people may be coming to look for him who just got told he will be in the prison uniform. Look for the
Also
prison
that.
uniform.
Also that. So either way, this will not work
Change.
out well. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, but instead of just changing the outfits, I guess Babyface paid some cop off at some point to store some paint cans on the dock. And he paints Officer Malarkey's uniform to be the black and white stripes and paints his jumpsuit to be the navy blue, like cop uniform color. And he takes Malarkey's hat and badge. So that it doesn't really matter. The painting doesn't come back up, but the fact that that was the solution, I was like,
You
how good is
know,
this gangster?
it doesn't sound great, but if
No,
he is as tiny as you're making it seem, it would be hard to be paired with a police officer that would wear the same size as you.
I will say, no, they're both big. They're both husky. Uh,
Oh.
yeah,
Why
thick,
did I think? Oh, I
husky.
guess it's because his name is Babyface that in my
Oh,
mind I
yeah.
think like a
No, it's
tiny little.
the classic. He's got an ugly mug going on.
Okay,
Less
but
they
he's
call
like a
him
normal
Babyface.
size,
Yep,
regular. Okay, gotcha. My
yep,
bad. Oh, well, okay, well then that makes it make even less sense
yeah,
why you
exactly.
wouldn't
Again,
just
it doesn't come up, but I
with
was like, yeah, how
clothes.
good of a gangster is this? Because what is this? What is this
Yeah.
plan?
You know, cartoons always have to like put in something super ridiculous so kids
Yeah.
remember, like, oh yeah, ha ha
Yeah, I
ha.
guess that's true. I guess I'm taking it way too seriously based on all the historical
That's what we do
references that
here.
they've been doing. I was
Yeah.
like, what is this unrealistic quick change outfit escape
Yeah.
plan here? So,
But it
Baloo,
does raise a lot of questions though.
yeah, exactly about the intelligence here, but maybe Ma
Yes.
Babyface is the brains
She is
really.
truly the brains. Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, Baloo pulls up to the dock and Baloo sees the pig, Officer Malarkey, in the
Yeah.
prison uniform, still passed out on the dock,
Oh,
and sees Babyface in the cop uniform and asks Babyface, like, what happened here? Why is the
we good
prisoner
here?
passed out?
Yeah.
And Babyface says, the prisoner tried to escape, so I had to subdue him, help carry his limp body into the plane with me.
Hmm.
And Baloo is like, what an idiot, basically, which is funny because he's
Yeah.
saying Babyface is an
Falling
idiot
for
to
it.
Babyface's face, and yes,
Y-
falling for it.
Yeah.
So on the plane, Babyface is sitting up front with Baloo. Malarkey is still handcuffed to him and passed out between them.
Mm.
And Babyface's eyes are, of course, darting around left and right, checking out the situation he's in and not really listening to Baloo, who currently is going on and on and on, essentially about like he sees basically Blue sees the glove box filled with parking tickets and is like sweating and being like, I love obeying the law. You know, I was just telling my adopted son, Kit, about how much obeying the law is my
It's
hobby.
all I
It's
do.
so fun. Let me tell
I
you
was
about
the first
all
one to obey the law.
let me tell you about all the laws I obey. It's my
Yeah.
favorite activity. It's the classic, like being next to a cop and just like
Yeah.
over like
Being
doing,
like Ben Wyatt in Parks and
yeah,
Recreation.
just sweating up a storm,
Sweating bullets. Like,
panicking,
thank you
panic
for your
mode.
service.
I love the surface. I don't even text while I drive my phone. I don't even bring my phone into the car. It's
I don't even
actually,
drive.
I don't even have a phone. I use a
Yeah.
landline. I can't simply bring it. I don't even drive, officer. I just love the law. I've memorized the
I
law,
walk
officer.
everywhere, but with the helmet. I never jaywalk.
I've never even heard it.
I
What's
always use the
Jay? I don't even know anyone
sidewalks.
named Jay. How could I jaywalk? Yeah. So he's full panic spiraling mode.
Yeah.
And Babyface is like just in his seat. And of course, the glove box pops open, sending the parking tickets everywhere
Mm.
yet again.
Oh, God.
And Babyface just gives Baloo the like, sure, Jan
I already
type of
paid
look.
these. Yeah.
They
I
all
already
say
paid these
overdue
too.
on him.
Yeah.
But yes, no, you're right. Baloo is like starts yammering on more and more with excuses. Like I was getting around to it. I was just trying to have him. I wanted to do it all in one go. So, collect a bunch, only have to go to court one time,
Right?
just
Exactly.
panicking on and on. And
Mhm.
Babyface, of course, couldn't give a shit, but his coolness in response to this and not really responding, of course, makes Baloo, he's in a full fucking spiral, thinking
Yeah.
he's about to get arrested by this cop.
Hmm.
And so Babyface, though, leaving Baloo like stammering and yammering on, drags Malarkey out of the cockpit, kind of like further back in the seaplane, and starts searching for the keys to the cuffs.
Mm.
And when he doesn't find them, he does find some tools on the seaplane, specifically a hammer, and smashes the chains between the
Mm.
cuffs. But the metal on a metal floor of a seaplane
Oh
next to
no.
his ear
Oh
obviously wakes
no.
Malarkey up,
Yeah.
who immediately assesses the situation that Babyface has a hammer and is standing over him at this moment in time.
Hmm. Panic.
Slightly alarming, if you will.
Yes.
He tackles Babyface and they start wrestling on the floor of the seaplane. But Babyface thinks quickly and screams for Baloo to help him, saying that he's being attacked by the gangster. And
Mm.
so
Oh
Baloo
God.
runs to the back and incredibly stops, like he runs up to the two wrestling men and stops and looks at Babyface briefly, who currently in his mind is being assaulted and attacked by this prisoner, but who also now knows about his parking ticket crimes, and says, I mean, I'll scratch your back if you scratch mine,
Oh,
right, officer?
Baloo. Oh boy. I was just like, good thing he's not actually a cop, but he's still doing it in front of an actual cop. So it's like,
He's still
uh,
being like a little quid pro quo, right, copy?
yeah.
I'm gonna assume all of them are corrupt. Wink, wink,
And at
nudge,
this
nudge.
point, he's assisting in the assault of this police officer. He's
Yeah.
not like helping, he's just watching it happen. So it's
He's
like
an accessory right
he's making
now.
this a lot worse for himself, and he doesn't even know it yet. Yeah.
Oh, he does not.
Poor boy.
But yes, Babyface just yells again for help. And then Baloo punches Malarkey, the actual officer, right in the face and makes him pass out.
Classic mix up. Jeez.
Classic
He
Baloo.
punches first, asks questions later
That's what I was
every
about to say.
time. You worry it down.
That's all Baloo knows. Punch now, question later.
Yeah.
Consequences, never heard of them, honey.
Be damned. Yeah.
Yeah, be damned. So yeah, Malarkey just passes right the fuck back out. And yes, Baloo's rap sheet.
Well,
This, I would
got a
say,
lot
Baloo is one
longer.
of the larger criminals in this episode,
Yeah, it
for
just turned
sure.
around pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Mm-mm-mm.
during this tussle, the keys to the handcuffs fall out. So Babyface is able to fully uncut, like get the final cuff off of his wrist. And of course, at some point, they've got to stop for fuel, and Babyface thinks quickly. He says he wants to go get a soda really quick from the store, like, the little gas station, but they can't just leave this criminal here. So he asks
Mhm.
Baloo, could you guys get cuffed together for me while I go get a little soda? So of course Baloo is like, no, I just saw him assault you, like,
Yeah, I'd rather
little
not.
terrifying.
Yeah, give me
I'll
your
get your
gun and maybe
soda.
we'll talk.
Yeah, exactly. But Babyface is like, I mean, I thought you wanted me to forget about those parking tickets.
Mm, 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 mm.
So Blue says, which
Yeah.
wrist? Hook me up.
Say less.
Yeah, say less. I'm already clink. We're
Yeah.
ready. But as Babyface goes to get his quote unquote soda here, Malarkey wakes up, takes one look at Baloo, who's currently cuffed to him, and says,
Mhm.
who the hell are you? More or less.
Yes.
Uh, Baloo freaks out because suddenly this so-called prisoner is awake and he is scared for his life.
Yeah.
And so he starts screaming for the cops. And a cop car does speed up, and an
Um,
officer jumps out
yeah.
holding a gun to Baloo's face, um, yelling at Baloo to freeze because he's now under arrest for assaulting an officer of the law. Of course, Baloo is a little confused.
Uh-huh.
As they continue to say that he has now also aided and abetted the escape of a federal prisoner.
Yeah.
So
Oh boy. And
they
he's not smart enough to know what most of that means. So he's like,
none of
what?
those words.
Yeah.
You
But
have
you are
any
speaking a
idea?
different language.
Including, he's even more confused as Baloo gets loaded in the back, hilariously, in my mind, of they're in a paddy wagon, which to me is just like
Yeah.
a very Irish and like Boston
The
Irish.
paddy wagon. Yeah.
Yeah, get in the paddy wagon for yes, Irish and Bostonians to get loaded into.
Yeah.
Specifically on St. Patrick's Day in Boston as well. So it just was really
Paddy
great.
wagon. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. So yeah, Baloo's confused because he gets loaded in the back, but Officer Malaki here, he gets loaded into the front.
Yeah.
So yes, Baloo at this point is like, this feels like I'm in trouble. Yeah, like, we got a little. Why is the prisoner up front? Oh God, is that officer corrupt? Why am I in the
I
back?
wonder, he's like, I know I don't know that much about the law, but I
feel
think
I called shotgun.
something is wrong. And the law says
If I say it first, I
got
get
it
it.
first, then I should be up front, right? I
That's what
don't
Wildcat told
remember
me, and he's
the
the smartest
prisoner
guy I know.
saying shotgun. Yeah.
Yeah, wait a
He's like
second.
arguing the rules
Excuse
of
me?
shotgun through the like bars. Oh
Well,
God,
he
go
is arguing
on.
through the bars.
Okay. Might as
Yes.
well be asking for shotgun. He's like, I've got longer legs. Come
Yep.
on.
And so, yeah, exactly. This is uncomfortable back here. But yes, Baloo is begging them to believe him. He's trying to explain everything that happened that evening, basically being like telling it from his side of the story. And
Hashtag
Officer
believe Baloo.
hashtag free Baloo.
Yeah.
At this point, Officer Malarkey is actually starting to believe Baloo because one, he's like, this guy is a fucking idiot. And this does line up with everything I experienced
That's always a
tonight.
good defense. Fucking
If you're
idiot.
just dumb enough, they might let you go.
You can get away with anything.
You have to be the right
They'll
kind of
pity
dumb.
you instead. Exactly. It's like,
It's
oh,
very
sweetie.
niche
Yeah.
idiocracy here. And
Yeah.
Baloo, he's in
He's
that
got
niche
it.
right there, right
Yeah.
through here. But as they are about to, yes, fully believe Baloo's innocence and let him go,
Mm-hmm.
and go essentially be like, well, this criminal did escape, and that's actually who we should go find. This is our bigger issue here.
By the way,
A can of tear gas flies through the window of the cop car, making the officers, of course, swerve, crash, and tuck and roll out of the van, out of the paddy wagon. And just then, the back of the paddy wagon flies open, and we see Baloo face to face with two large, suited up, mobster looking fellas
oh my
who, as a side
God.
note, they're fully in a gas masks.
Oh,
Which
yeah.
like made me be like, is this the purge? Like you just open doors and like gas masked figures are there with
Just walking in.
semi-automatic rifles,
Of course.
waiting to
Gotta complete
escort.
the fit.
Yep, complete the fit. But remember, it was someone's birthday, so they also have balloons
Oh,
and
that's
a
right.
cake.
Oh, nice. A
And
prison break with a little flair.
a prison
little
cake break.
pizzazz.
A prison break cake, if you will.
Yeah.
How do you at what bakery do you get that like customized?
Yeah,
Like,
right. Like either a
welcome home from
prison-shaped.
prison.
That would actually be adorable. Like a
I know.
prison-shaped cake with like the front door of the prison like busted down
Busted
or
up
something.
dynamite
And
on
little
it.
like little fondant prisoners running away.
Gas
Like a
masks
skinny
across
thing.
it.
Yeah. I like
Bodies
it.
behind them.
I'll
A
go up
prison
to
riot cake.
yeah, I'll go up to Charm City Cakes and see if they can make it
Nothing
in
but cakes.
Baltimore.
Do they make that one for
Yeah,
you?
can they do it? I think so. If you give them a good picture, they can make
They
anything.
can do anything these days with fondant.
Yes.
Um, but yes, they, I will say, pause for a moment when they see Baloo because they're like, Ma Babyface is a dog.
Mhm.
This is a bear.
She
But
adopted. How kind of her.
we know she's a good-hearted lady. And look,
Yeah.
he's in cuffs. She said he'd be the one carrying cuffs. And you know what? She yelled at us a lot. So
hmm We're
this
scared
must,
of her.
yeah, we're pretty scared of her. And who
Uh,
else would be in the back of the paddy wagon if not a criminal? So
yeah.
they go ahead and put a party hat on Baloo, hand him the cake, and lead him right to the car. But on their way, the officers are able to shake off basically the gas that the tear gas had been thrown into the car.
Yeah.
And they just go ahead. They also have some 1930s like semi-automatic like machine guns, and they start
Right.
open firing at Baloo and the two dogs who are now in a car
Okay.
speeding away. And of note that they saw Baloo getting into this car, so
Oh.
not looking the most innocent
Mm-mm. Yet
anymore.
again. No,
Yet
this is
again.
also imagine how confusing that would be. Like for him, not even just because he has no idea what was going on. Imagine
Yep.
if you were an actual prisoner and it was just the wrong paddy wagon. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you're being transferred. Like, yes, you are a
He's
criminal
kind of
and
like a
all that.
drunken brawl.
Yeah,
You just
right.
like
And they
peed in the
like
back
put a
alley and
party
got
hat on you.
caught
Right,
because
like
it's
something
St.
like
Patrick's
that.
Day.
Exactly. And they like bust you out and put a party hat on you and give you balloons. Like,
All of a sudden, like you're in the
what's
Irish
happening?
mob or the IRA. You never asked for this.
I didn't ask for it. I don't care about freedom at all. Like, not like sovereignty freedom. Like, I just don't want to go to
Yeah.
prison. How did I get involved in a rebel army? Like,
Oh, but you
what
guys have
the
some
fuck?
Guinness. Okay, I guess I'll stay.
Okay, well, I can get used to that.
Yeah.
Practicing his Irish accent.
Yeah. You're like, no, you need to work harder. You have to say the I's. It's not R, it's I's. You got to work on it. And they're just doing like language lessons. And they're
Yeah.
like, we already broke you out. You're already in too deep. Sorry, son.
Yeah.
You're in it now. So back at one of the hideouts in Cape Suzette, Ma Babyface is casually knitting yet again on their back stock of TNT crates that
Oh,
they've been
nice.
stockpiling.
That they have. Good.
And she looks so excited when that door opens. But instead of seeing those two goons with her son, she sees a giant sloth bear in a fucking party hat.
Now imagine being in her shoes. If you hire
I'm blowing
people
this
to
place up. All three of them are staying in. I'm fucking blowing this pop stand, baby.
like, who the fuck is this? Like, boy, men, do I look like a sloth
Boys.
bear to you? Yeah, boys. Boys. Stupid boys. Do I look like a
God
sloth
damn.
bear
Do you
to
think I'm a nice enough person to adopt?
and a sloth
Absolutely
bear of
not.
all things? I
This
know nothing about sloth bears.
we're mobsters. We keep it in the family. That's like 101 of a
Literally
gang.
lesson
Keep it in the
one.
family.
Ugh.
So, yes,
Well, tell
she
me how this
immediately
goes.
starts screaming at them, being like,
Yeah.
who is this joker? This ain't my
This
son.
joker.
Screaming at him. But right before, I assume, yes, she just explodes the goons. Another door in the hideout kicks wide open, and in walks Babyface in a nice suit. He's changed,
Mm.
he's freshened up, he's got flowers for his dear Ma. He, this whole
Aww.
time, had his own prison escape plan to get back to Ma. There was a
Aww.
lot of feints within feints here, plans within plans.
Aw, so he was like, "Don't worry, you don't need to bother yourself with this, Mom.
Yeah,
I got this." He's like, "Oh,
I'll get
Mom,
out
you
of
did
my
all this
own,
for
Ma.
me." But
Ma,
also
I'll
shows
do
his mom
anything
does
for
not
you.
trust him. Yeah,
No, his mom was like, this fucking idiot here?
he never does
Absolutely
anything right.
not. He doesn't know
Yeah.
shit. So that's why she was so extra shocked when they saw him walk in.
hmm
But This beautiful mother-son reunion is short-lived as Baloo interrupts them, being like, again, Baloo, maybe he's willfully ignorant here, being like,
Yeah.
oh, thank God, I know you. Help me out here, buddy. I helped you. You helped me explain what's going on here. I'm innocent, right? Let me go. But before Babyface can interject, we see yet again Ma's true colors come through. And she
Oh,
says, this buffoon knows where our hideout is.
yeah.
If he leaves, he's immediately gonna go squeal. So you gotta finish the job here, kids.
Oh,
So Babyface, of course, like in any good Disney show, tells the goons to take care of Baloo. And Ma says, I just cleaned up in here. Go finish him outside.
dang.
Yeah. Which like,
Jeez. But like also fair.
yeah, and also funny to be like, are you just like Swiffer wet jetting your stockpile warehouse? You're just like
All
dusting.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like
She has nothing
dusting
else to
off.
do.
Yeah, exactly. She's waiting for her
Business has
son to
gone
come back.
downhill since Babyface
It's
was
Bayface.
arrested.
Yeah, exactly. She's
Yeah.
got to keep it looking nice in here.
You're right.
So the goons and Babyface drag Baloo outside, where we fully see Babyface get a revolver out and point it
Mm,
directly in Baloo's face.
mm.
But
Cool. Do they give us the brand name of the revolver?
I just didn't know enough about guns to recognize it,
Okay, they
probably.
probably said
Yeah.
it, but yeah, okay,
Yeah, but
cool.
it probably just went over my head as a non-gunny type of person. I don't know historical weapons from the 30s. I don't know what
Gotcha.
Dillinger's
Fair.
favorite was or Babyface Nelson's. But Babyface is distracted for 1 second because Ma like called something out to him or something like that, probably like to speed it up. She's about to light the birthday candles.
Hmm.
And Baloo takes that chance, that small opening, to like grab a trash can from the alleyway they're in and like, classic bowling ball style, chuck it at them, knocking them down, giving
Yeah.
them a chance to get away. And a chase scene ensues where eventually the mobsters stop chasing Baloo because Baloo runs literally into Officer Malarkey and the other cop from before.
These guys again. Come
These fucking
on.
guys. So they cuff Baloo, of course, right away. But Baloo
Yeah.
says, I can show you where the hideout is. They're stockpiling weapons. I'll bring you right
I
to them.
will
It's
rat
right
them
around the
out
corner
so
here.
quickly. Yeah.
Before you can spell the word rat, there I'm ratting them
Yeah,
out.
I'll show you where they are.
Yeah, we're left, right, and center. Let's go. So they decide, like, well, I mean, we're obviously still going to arrest him, duh. But
Hmm.
this is one last chance. They're probably going to try and clear out this safe house now that they know Baloo's gone. This is our only chance
Yeah.
to get this hideout. They want to take down the rest of this gang. So, still cuffed, they lead the Baloo to, I don't know. If I were the cops, I would be like, this guy we just saw go with the criminals is saying he'll take us to the criminals. This sounds like a fucking ambush if I've ever heard of one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have they never seen The Departed? Like, come on now. This is
Right.
101. So,
Haven't
whatever.
ever seen The Departed, which is
Which came out a decade
hilarious,
after this
exactly,
episode.
on so many levels. And like it takes place maybe in the 30s or something, this show. So like, no, they haven't. But
It's just
but
my
they
favorite
should.
movie to reference when I was thinking of Irish Moths in
Absolutely.
Boston, which I
Yeah.
assumed, even though none of them really had Boston accents in here, I've been slowly ingratiating them into this
They
episode.
might as well be. Yeah.
Exactly. But those goons who had been chasing Baloo, who stopped chasing when he ran into the cops, of course, overhear this, and they run back to the warehouse to tell Ma Babyface and Babyface.
Yeah.
So they decide to GTFO, of course, before the cops arrive. And they get there to find a warehouse where all the lights are turned off, the electricity is cut, and they feel around, blindly here because Baloo's like, no, I promise, this is it, we're good,
It's
we're good,
here.
I promise. And Baloo is able to find, like a little matchbook, like a set of matches. And he lights a small match to, of course, reveal the piles and piles and piles and piles and piles and piles and piles of TNT that they now see another small spark of, which means it has been lit and is quickly coming towards them. And of course,
Oh,
all erupts right in their faces.
no. Oh, God. They don't even get out first. Yikes.
The building collapses around them, and we see the two cops fall to the ground. So, as far as if they had body cam footage goes, Baloo just lit a
They killed
match
them.
and exploded this warehouse all around them.
After already being super sus, like,
Yes, after
hey, let me take you to the place where this entire mob meets. I
wink,
swear
wink.
I'm innocent.
After you saw me get in
Fun.
a car with them as they were shooting at you. After I helped another one of them escape and punched you in the face already, Officer Malarkey. Trust
Yeah.
me.
Thank God they
So,
didn't have body cam footage back
you
then because
know,
Baloo would be screwed.
well, let me tell
Man.
you, Baloo is pretty fucked anyways,
If
because
regardless,
we
yeah.
over here back at Higher for Hire, Kit and Becky listening to the radio and overhearing
Uh-oh.
about public enemy number one sloth bear named Baloo.
Baloo von Bruenwald, the 13th. Public enemy
Public enemy
number
number
one.
one, baby.
Oh gosh.
So things are not going well for Baloo.
Mm-mm.
And as they're
Not at
listening
all.
to this, Becky goes, I know they're like in the kitchen or something, goes to wash some dishes and look out the window, basically being like, he had one fucking job.
She's probably like, I wondered why it was taking him so long to finish this job, this
He was supposed to
delivery.
go from point A to point B. And now
Hmm.
somehow he's public enemy number one, and there's
Yeah.
nationwide alerts out for him.
Yeah.
As they're listening to this and as she's washing those dishes, staring out the window, flabbergasted, um,
Yep.
I would assume, well, we know ashy because he's completely covered head to toe in ashes, but I assume also very bloody. Baloo pops his head in the window
Oh,
and
at higher for
starts
hire.
at Hire for Hire.
Yeah.
He
Okay.
booked it as soon as the explosion happened, we find
Yeah.
out, and is now crawling in
Okay.
the window as Becky and Kit are screaming because they're like, what the fuck is
Could
happening?
you imagine? Just, I mean, again, like listening to the news and hearing a report about one of your best friends slash coworker
Public enemy
being
number
public
one.
enemy number one, and then they crawl through your window covered in blood and like soot, and like clothes burned and ripped off.
Tattered. And this, all of that has added to the day Becky was already having because she had already gotten a call that the seaplane had already been impounded for evidence.
Oh no, yeah. So where was it? It was like where they were going to get where
Where
Babyface wanted to get the soda or
yep,
whatever, or like
yep,
okay,
those
got it.
cops
Like a gas
immediately
station
took
or
that shit
something.
for
Yeah.
evidence. Yep.
Of course,
They, of course,
naturally.
Becky's
As
name's
they
on it,
should
so she
have.
got a call. And so she was
Yeah.
like, I don't know him.
I have no clue. Yeah.
Don't bring
He
down
stole
Hire
it.
for
He
Hire.
stole it from me.
Yeah, Becky caught
Never
it
met this
in.
man in my life. Yeah.
She's burning all of his HR paperwork.
Getting rid of Kit.
No, Kit's
He's
like, I know how
evidence.
to do a cover up.
This is the first thing I learned living on the streets.
How do you think I survived for so long?
Yeah.
In including Kit says, first thing I actually learned was snitches get stitches, Becky. So he
Yeah.
helps uncuff Baloo, which he knows how to do apparently. So Kit,
You know,
Kit.
yeah.
Kit's seen
Kit's
some
the
shit.
wild card.
Yeah.
He has. Kit's seen some shit.
Yeah. And so Baloo is explaining everything, including that at this point, The cops are not going to believe anything he tells them, because he did punch one. He did help a criminal escape. He did escape with more criminals while he escaped from the cops. And then he did explode an entire warehouse with the cops inside.
Yeah.
So, got a
Credibility
lot of
lost.
explaining to do. Yes.
Yeah.
And so Baloo somehow thinks the only way to clear his name is to get that really nice, sweet man from earlier to clear his name for him. That Babyface
One
Half
nice
Nelson
guy. That one, yeah.
is the only person to be able to clear his name. So, as he's explaining this, and they're like, well, how the fuck are we going to get him to clear his name? Also, he's definitely triply in hiding right now after all of this.
Yeah.
But luckily, Baloo still has the matchbook from the weapons warehouse, which says,
okay.
has the title classically of a bar on it, and it says Tiny's Grill. So
Okay.
they decide to go make a little visit to Tiny's Grill, which is a couple things. One, clearly a mobster bar. It's like the classic, a bunch of people like in like low fedoras and like the pinstripe
Smoke-filled room.
suits, so smoky. Two, perfect place to bring a child, but I like to imagine Kit walks in and he's just like, Tiny.
Hey,
They all know him there.
Tiny. The usual Tiny.
Play it again, Charlie. Takes his usual corner
Tiny
seat.
brings them a whole bottle of something.
A whole bottle of milk.
Kit walks over to a table. There's people sitting at it. They like look up and see it's Kit, and they all scatter and run away.
Like, we thought you died. So, like, poker chips fly everywhere as they book
Sorry,
it.
Kit. We didn't know you were coming in today. We didn't mean to take your table.
We're so sorry. They're throwing money that they owe him on the table.
Yeah.
Gets chewing a toothpick. Leans back. But another thing is that, like, at this point, everybody, all the gangsters also probably know about Baloo because he's currently public enemy number one.
He was number one.
He was number one. Baloo thinks this is a compliment. He doesn't understand the implications of it. He loves being in the paper. We fucking know it. He loves the front page. He's on it right now already.
Yeah, he's happy about it.
Kit, again, I assume, being the only street smart one, is like, yeah, for obvious reasons, we can't just go waltzing in there. They know who you are, Baloo. They want revenge on you. Kit's probably like, I fucked over a couple people in there. I can't just stroll on in.
Show my face.
Yeah, I can't. I faked my death so that they couldn't find me. You think I want to wear this baseball cap and a sweatshirt?
Kit is actually like a 40-year-old man who is actually...
Kit is actually the John Dillinger of this world, and like Kit was actually the one who had the most like FBI agents killed in that last shootout that he faked his own death in.
Yeah, he just like pushed his bangs forward and put a ball cap on. He's like, now I look 12 years old.
He's got to shave every day before he gets a 5 o'clock shadow.
He's like speaking in a fake voice. Like cracks every now and again. Yeah.
Like the second they found like a gun one time, Kid just like swirled it around like in one move, like checked that it was loaded, locked it back in, put it back in, and they were all like,
"This is how he knew."
I play lots of cops and robbers on the streets with my
you never see me out there?
Orphan friends. Yeah, I was an orphan.
This is how he knew, like he ID'd that harpoon in my first episode, like in a millisecond. Like 12-year-olds don't know Smith and Wesson. Yeah. Like,
what year is that? 1932? Classic.
That's why, like, he's so much smarter than Baloo, and Baloo's always like, huh? Yeah, sure.
Oh my God.
You said, kid, because he's actually older than Baloo.
Wait, what was your episode when he was fucking, we decided he was quoting the, like, Supreme Court justice?
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, that was the same one. That was the one with the whale.
Yeah. Yes.
That's why.
Where he was basically like, money is squashing the small people.
Yeah, exactly.
It corrupts you.
He's like, I remember when that Supreme Court opinion came out. I read it.
It was about me.
Yeah.
Before I fucking faked my own death.
Yeah.
He said he was an orphan, so they couldn't look him up at all.
Yeah,
and like
exactly.
didn't ever bother to. Yeah.
This is all
So
coming together. It's making sense to
so
me.
based on that, and again, his street
Hmm.
smarts, Kit knows they have to go in costume, of
Yeah,
course.
of course.
I will say it's nothing too like crazy. Baloo does not go in drag. I was disappointed.
Aw, okay, that's
But
fine. Can't do it every episode, I guess.
exactly, exactly. So Becky just has like, her hair curled differently. She's got heavy eyeshadow on. She probably learned from Kit and Caboodle how to do her makeup. Kit and
Yeah, she
Caboodle's
took some
doing
notes.
like TikToks in jail about how
Yeah,
to do makeup,
but she's like
probably.
talking about her favorite album or something while she's doing it. Like
Exactly. She's
Sabrina
talking about what
Carpenter
they
just
had
had
in
a
the
new
mess
album
hall
come out.
that day for
Exactly.
lunch, who the latest
Yeah.
shinking happened to. She's wearing a sparkly dress with a white boa. Again, probably got it at the prison auction from Kit and Caboodle's house.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kit, he's got like a tan or like white, like three-piece suit on, fedora, real low, hiding that face.
Yeah. He
Again,
knows.
freshly shaved, probably.
Yeah.
Keeping it low.
Cut his
That
hair a
collar's
little
up
bit.
real high.
Yeah. Nice.
Baloo has a full black and red suit, pinstripe suit on. It's like black, and then it's got like the red shirt on underneath with the black tie, a real thick gray mustache. A couple of times he's smoking a cigar that he picks up from someone,
Hey.
apparently. And
Nice.
Baloo, as we've seen with his drag, he just doesn't put on a costume. He doesn't put
Oh
on a
yeah.
character. He
No.
becomes the
Yes.
character.
He's method.
He's a full method acting because
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't just walk into this bar.
Nah.
He fucking kicks down the doors and they
Oh
march
yeah.
straight in. He saddles up right to the bar and calls out to everyone that he is here looking for Babyface.
Mm.
And of course,
Okay.
everyone in the bar says, "Whomst?
Never
A
heard of him.
baby? Babies can't go in here."
Babies don't have
Kit
faces.
Kit's putting his hat down even lower.
Yeah.
And Baloo reaches across the bar where the owner, who's named Tiny, is a
Tiny.
giant
Hmm.
polar bear, of course, and
I mean,
drags him
of
down face
course.
to face. Yep, demanding to see Babyface.
Mm.
This point, the polar bear reaches across and takes a bar stool and slams it onto Baloo's head. Um,
Oh.
Takes Baloo by the collar back behind the bar into the back room, slamming the doors behind them, where we hear the classic like bottles breaking, sounds of
Shuffle.
furniture crashing to the ground, and
Yeah.
then silence. And then the doors swing back open. We see Baloo storm out, his suit
Okay.
perfectly intact still, but a twitch in his
Oh.
eye as he like adjusts his tie, smoking a cigar, and says, "I said I'm here to see Babyface."
Oh no, that's badass and
And at this
super
point,
intimidating.
everyone fucking runs out of the bar.
Yeah. It's
Like,
when you say that the suit is like pristine still,
yep, just
that's like
slightly
John Wick
adjusted.
level. Yeah.
Exactly. Like not the hat's still on, not a hair in that fake mustache out of
Out of
place.
place. Yikes. All right,
Yes, and
Baloo.
as someone is running out the bar, they tell them where Babyface is immediately. They're like, "Yeah, go in the back alleyway, go down the manhole cover. They've got a whole system of tunnels down there. Okay, don't hurt me. Sorry,
You
bye."
didn't hear it from me. Yeah.
Yep, yeah, you've never seen my face before.
Uh-uh.
So they go back out into that alleyway, and of course, the manhole cover is just open. And after that beautiful,
Oh.
badass performance by Baloo, he just fucking falls right down the manhole cover and trips into
Aw.
it.
Yeah,
But
he's got his moments.
still gonna Baloo.
Yeah.
And Becky and Kit follow him out, and they jump down because they saw him fall in, and they
Hmm.
all land directly onto a poker table where the two goons from before,
Ah,
Babyface and Ma Babyface, are there playing poker. But
okay. Starting to
Baloo
wonder what their criminal
gets in the
activity
game.
is. I guess weapons, but they're just
I,
always sitting around,
I think
kind of
it's the
hanging out.
classic, like, weapons laundering, money
I guess it's stuff like
laundering.
you don't have to do a lot of work because it's like
When you're at the
when you're
top.
trading weapons and stuff, it's like
Yeah.
you can do one deal and it lasts you for months, like
And like
financially,
you think
And so you do one
Babyface
deal,
and
you chill for
Ma
a couple of days.
are showing up to the
Yeah, no,
deals?
that's
No, they're
true.
sending all the
They've got
underlings.
little minions. That's true.
Everyone wants to
Okay.
become a made men. They're trying to get in
Yeah.
there left, right, and center. They're definitely
Yeah.
drug dealing too. At
Yeah.
they're being CEOs.
This is
You
true.
know,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
the equivalent of golfing.
Little work for overinflated pay.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
But Baloo, again, ever the actor, he's not shaken by this little fall. He stays right in character. And as everyone around them gets their revolvers back out and points it right in Baloo, Becky, and Kit's faces,
Hmm.
Baloo, he keeps it cool. He says he's here because he's got a job for Babyface, a big heist now that he's out of prison. And Ma, of course, wants to know who the fuck these people are. So Baloo introduces himself to everyone. So Becky is going by Roxy, classic.
Of course. Yeah.
Kit, love Kit's name, Mickey the Mangler.
That's his real name. That's actually that's
Where
what
they
he
all
went down for.
you see the guns start shaking.
Yeah, like, wait, Mickey, we thought you were dead.
Mickey, I saw your dead body. I was at your funeral, Mickey. I saw your mother cry.
I helped your wife take your kids to school every day for weeks. I tucked him in at night, told him how much he missed you.
What a good man you were, and that you would always love them. Mickey, why'd you do this, Mickey?
Mickey, come back. Your family misses you, Mickey.
Mickey, Cheryl's
the
moved
pension
on. She's
ran
about
out.
to get engaged. You gotta stop the wedding tomorrow. He's not a good guy, Mickey. Those kids are growing up without you, Mickey. And your mother, she's never forgiven herself for letting you go out that day. She said, Mickey, why don't you stay home for one more drink? And you still wet, Mickey. You still wet, Mickey. This is Babyface's gang.
Listen?
Why don't you listen to your mother, Mickey?
Single tear drops from Kit's eye as he tries to stay in character. It's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I've never seen you in my life. I didn't have a mother. I didn't have any sons. At least not one who loved me. Not like her.
Not like Mickey Jr.
Yeah.
We see like a montage of like Kit, like in a car, like 3 blocks away, watching them go to school still.
With whoever this other goon is, like tapping him on the shoulder, like, it's all right, you're gonna be good. Like sending him off, like, have a good day, kid.
You see,
watching
like,
up, the dude pulls out a picture of Mickey, like, you'd be proud of him.
School are like bullying the little kid, and like Mickey, aka Kit's, just what knuckles are white
watching from like behind a tree on the playground, can't do anything.
His mother has a heart attack, and you just see him like sneaking into the hospital at night to leave like a single flower,
kiss her on the forehead, and then leave before she wakes up. She wakes up with a flower there.
She's like, I know he's still alive somewhere out there. And they're like, yes, your ma's been losing her mind, Mickey. She thought you were still alive. We all thought she was crazy, Mickey. We got her committed. She's unwell. Like the kids are getting in fights at school because they have no dad now.
Like acting out.
Like,
exactly. The mother is in an emotionally abusive relationship because she just never had closure on why Mickey left and never came back, why he died and shouldn't have.
Mickey's been sending money to his wife, just like in blank envelopes in the mailbox. But as he sees her getting picked up for her new date, another single tear.
Like,
and she's got to move on, and I know it.
Every time she gets a new envelope in the mailbox, it's like unaddressed. So she's always looking around, kind of fearful. Mickey's like a few houses over, like looking from the car window. And she looks scared, but like accepts it and walks back into the house. And Mickey just does a slight little
like
nod.
His cologne.
Yeah. Mickey gives a little nod, just like, and drives away.
She'll be okay.
Good. She'll be fine.
She'll be okay. She'll raise those boys right.
So yeah,
that's what Mickey's been up to.
Mickey the Mangler, yeah.
He's really struggling in this moment. Just he's got his hand on his own gun, hoping he doesn't have to draw it to his old friends. holding strong.
You got me mixed up
it.
for someone else.
I don't know this Mickey the Mangler. I mean, I don't know him, mister.
I've never heard of a
Change
Mickey
his
the
voice again.
Mangler. You're thinking of someone else.
You're thinking of someone else, but tell my mother
But
I
tell
love her.
those kids that their dad probably really loves them and misses them.
And he's so proud of them staying in school. Becky's watching all of this.
Becky and Baloo are like, so
anyways, that's just a kid we found on the street. And Mickey's like, yeah, on the street.
On the streets. It's so tough. You don't want any kids ending up there.
You don't know what it was like up there. Wiping away. So anyways. Then we got Baloo, who calls himself Pretty Boy Lloyd, who, incredible dear listeners, is another reference to another gangster from the Public Enemy era, who, yes, at another point, when all of his friends have died, also was Public Enemy number one at some point.
It's like, dang it.
Yep. Again, you want to stay on that low seated here. So his actual name was Pretty Boy Floyd, aka Charles Arthur Floyd. He was a gangster and a bank robber at the time, but a lot of people actually, like the public of all kind of the public enemies of the time, a lot of people loved him.
He's a pretty boy.
He's a pretty boy. It was reported upon, though not confirmed, that when he would be robbing the banks, he would find the mortgage documents and burn them, aka free people from their debts. Which is like
Robin Hood.
One, funny because that's just how it fucking worked back then. Like, here's a piece of paper. Like, we don't have like technology to move your money around. It's just like, if you don't have this piece of paper, your debts are gone, screwed. Baby.
Yeah. Or on the other hand, you're free.
Yeah, exactly. That's how he saw it, and that's how the public saw it. So he was kind of the Robin Hood-y one of kind of this era. He did at one point, there's a report of him working with John Dillinger yet again. So again, they all moved in the same circles. He also killed a lot of people and a lot of agents and officers.
Yeah.
And of course, he was, of course, killed in, you guessed it, an FBI shootout.
Their favorite.
Yep, which happened between, John Dillinger had died, and then Pretty Boy Floyd, and then later, a couple months after that, was Babyface. So they were just nicking him down. But Pretty Boy Floyd, fun fact, I don't remember where, but had that shootout in Ohio. So there's a little Ohio pride for us.
Yay! Look at us. We're relevant.
We're relevant.
Ohio
we're included.
Relevant. Yay.
So, anyways, Baloo, aka Pretty. Well, I already forgot it. What was it? Pretty Boy Lloyd.
Lloyd.
Floyd. Okay. Yeah, they added an F on there.
One letter.
They got lazy at this point in the episode. But Baloo is in Babyface's face, saying that you'll find out what this heist is if you meet us at this address tonight. It's like a bank at 10 p.m. and you'll get a big payout because this is a small job. It's a small team. And Babyface believes him because Baloo is big and scary. And I'm now thinking, because he may recognize Kit as well, that he's like, I'll be there. Of course.
Absolutely. I'll never get on Mickey the Mangler's bad side ever again, or whoever you are. I mean, I swear to God, I've seen you before.
You look
in my nightmares.
How do you think I ended up in jail in the first place? Mickey fucking put me there.
Yeah.
So he framed me and put me there.
I remember that bitch.
Before they can take no for an answer, Baloo and company all head out and immediately sprint to the address they gave them, which turns out is not actually a bank, but the police station. And they casually are putting up a fake sign on top of the police station sign that says bank. So, yes, the plan here is for Babyface to run into the police station. Of course, they'll all immediately see it's this escaped prisoner. They'll all
Mm-hmm.
arrest him, and then Baloo thinks that because he's now in custody, that he, for some reason, will say, that Baloo guy's a great guy.
He's innocent.
Totally let him go. He's not the one
Big
who got me
misunderstanding.
recaptured. Yeah, this was all
Yeah.
just a hubba Baloo. And that
Mm.
Baloo guy,
Hubba
I'm not
Baloo.
pissed. Hubba Baloo. I'm not pissed at him at all for getting me back in jail.
No, I
Let him
don't want to get
go.
back at him. Yeah, he's
No,
actually done
no,
the public
revenge?
a favor, so I
Yes,
owe him one
I owe
for putting
him
me back
one.
in jail. Thank you. Yeah.
Exactly. So
Oh.
that's the plan here.
All right. Well,
Let's see how
he's
this turns
naive,
out.
as we've said. Yeah, let's
Oh,
see how this goes. I
Baloo's
think we
gonna
know, but
Baloo. I
yeah.
think we know because if you recall, well, before we get there, Babyface does indeed show up. He crawls out of a manhole cover because,
Mm.
again, they've got a bunch of sewer systems, tunnels underneath here.
Mhm.
Um, he's got his full suit on still. And, you know, Babyface, I will say, he's starting to grow a little sus as Pretty Boy Lloyd, who, yes, shows back up, tells Babyface basically, like, get your ass in there and start this robbery. Like, you know what to do.
Yeah.
And he gets even more sus when Pretty Boy Lloyd lights up a cigar, and as he smokes the cigar, the moves it out, and the mustache comes off with it.
Oh no.
And at this point,
Yeah.
Babyface realizes this is Baloo. This is a
Mm.
setup, and we start back where we began, everyone,
Great.
with Babyface. Great, shooting at Baloo. Of course, Officer Malarkey and his partner, who survived the TNT explosion somehow, hear
Oh,
the
that's actually
gunfire.
impressive.
Yeah, I think they're, maybe Baloo just covered them up, being like, well, I won't murder you at the very least,
Yeah,
hopefully.
right. Just has to
Um,
take a few years off my prison sentence, right?
hopefully. I mean, he's in there for a long
It's
time
not looking
now.
good. Yeah.
So, yes, as I said at the beginning, Officer Malarkey and his partner, they run out to see Babyface, see Baloo. They think they're colluding and have just come to shoot up this police station. So they start shooting at everyone. Baloo yells at Becky and Kit to go run into the impound lot, the evidence lot
Hmm.
right behind the station, and fucking go get the seaplane. So those two book it, get into the evidence lot, start hot wiring up that seaplane.
Hmm.
And as I said too at the beginning, amid this ablaze alley or this street that's gone ablaze with gunfire, Babyface takes the manhole cover, uses that as shield. As he jumps back into the sewer, one of the cop bullets ricochets off the manhole cover, hits the sign above the police station, which
Oh
was
my
the fake
God.
bank sign, and
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
falls down upon these two cops, crushing them. So,
What a what a what a
what a mix
domino,
up.
what a chain of yeah. I'm like, how do we describe this hubbubaloo?
Let's have a balloon here.
Very specific to something that Baloo could
Can only do.
cause.
That's actually
Only
what it's called
Baloo.
in the liability waiver that Becky created. It's called for any unforeseen hubbubaloo's. The legal
Hubbabaloos.
legal term in
Yeah.
Cape Suzette.
The hubbabaloo clause. Yeah. Things we can't foresee that Baloo will
Will
absolutely make
do.
happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Completely on accident somehow. So, yes, as this is all happening, Becky is able to get on the plane with Kit and fly over Baloo, who hops in the seaplane. And at this point, the officers, who did not yet again die, because it was a pretty shitty sign that had fallen on them or was created and put
Mhm.
up there and then fell, they're able
Yeah.
to shake it off and immediately, obviously, see the seaplane. And Baloo is egging them on and being like, hi, over
Come get me. Yeah,
here. Yes,
okay.
come get me. So they jump into, of course, their own cop plane because, yes, they probably also have tanks and they have their own planes. So, this, again, this world in this case, just like us.
Mhm.
So, they, this totally necessary thing that they own, get into their plane, their fighter jet, and start
Yeah.
tailing the Sea Duck plane, which Baloo is now driving.
Okay.
And Baloo drives it a little bit outside of Cape Suzette and into, I guess, on the edge of town, this enormous sewer entrance, like the ones you only see in cartoons, that's big enough to perhaps fit two
A
planes, one
plane?
could
Oh,
say.
two, not just one, but
Yep,
two. Okay.
exactly. So
Great.
Baloo swoops in and basically he's like, I know Babyface is somewhere in these fucking sewers. We got to lead him back to it. So Baloo swoops in there, tailed by the officers. And at this point, Babyface has gotten into a car and is driving through the sewer system. It's like a classic old timey 1930s car, like the super long front situation.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And, Babyface, of course, notices that people are following him. So he's leaning out his window with his 1930s automatic machine gun here, which I guess maybe all machine guns are automatic. That's probably repetitive. And starts shooting
Think
at
so. Or
Baloo.
semi.
Yep.
Mhm.
And he's shooting at Baloo, which makes the officers think that they're being shot at. So they also start shooting at Baloo.
Oh, God,
And
these
they
mix-ups
start,
are getting all mixed up.
it just continues to be all,
Mixing up.
all mixed and up.
Yeah.
So they're calling for backup. And as you can imagine, it's absolute chaos, especially as
Hmm.
Babyface is steering into like different sewer pipes. Baloo is
Yeah.
trying to follow him. The helicopter or the cop plane is trying to follow them. They're all, weaving in and out, finding each other, losing each other. And at one point, Baloo steers into the wrong pipe and it's too small, and the wings of the seaplane get absolutely ripped off. So
Oh,
now
God. Oh, God.
Baloo's
That's going to
plane
be
is
expensive.
I know Becky is like,
Are you shitting me right now, sir?
you had one job,
Yeah.
drop this man off at one place. And
Ah, poor
now I'm
Becky.
implicated in these crimes. And
Yeah, she's like, I have
Liz,
nothing to do with this. This
how am
is
I going to afford my own bail at this point, Baloo? And I have to fix this
yeah.
fucking plane. I'm not bailing you out, Baloo. You're
No, just
screwed.
me. Maybe
Just
I'll do Kit.
yeah,
Maybe.
Kit's like counting his own cash for his own bail.
And he's like, I'll be fine. Don't worry. I
Yeah,
hid all mine in a barrel
I'll bribe those
on the
officers before I
beach.
even get into jail
Yeah.
here. I'm not seeing another day there. They're going to
Uh-uh.
fingerprint me. That can't happen.
That can't happen. I burned my fingerprints off.
Burn my paw prints off.
Yeah.
So, yes, at this point, Baloo's plane is in, if you will, a tailspin. Um, but the cop plane is still following Babyfaces. And
Okay.
a few things all happen at once here. So, Babyface careens into, or like whips around the corner, I should say. He doesn't run into anything. Whips around the corner into the hideout that Baloo and everyone had originally fallen into, where folks were playing poker.
Okay, yeah.
Because presumably it's like kind of in a bigger sewer pipe area. Presumably,
Yeah.
like this is his next escape route. He's got to go pick up his mother, like a good son. You can't leave your
Yeah,
mother behind.
exactly. Gotta get mom.
Horrible. Yeah.
Okay.
So he swoops in there. The cops following him also swoop in there, but hit off one of their wings as they turn in.
Mm.
And the aforementioned tail spinning ship
Yes.
busts through the wall of one of the other pipes. And all three of these vehicles now careen at one single point into each other in this hideout area.
Mm.
Sending everyone tumbling out into presumably a huge ball of fire that we just don't
I
necessarily
was
see
gonna
at this
say,
moment.
okay. I was gonna ask if they showed an explosion because they
No, but
usually
I
do. But
assume there
okay, we
is.
can. Yeah,
Yeah, we can imagine it just cuts away slowly from, the
yeah.
goons who probably died in there.
They're like, if you're still sticking around the show this late in the season, you can infer
You
that there was
know.
an explosion.
You
Yeah,
already
you
they're like
know.
they weren't enough people to actually get caught in the explosion, so why bother
So it
showing it,
wasn't worth it. Yeah.
Yeah, not that's a lot of colors to animate in there, and there's no
Hmm.
deaths. Why bother?
Why do it?
So, yes, they all tumble out. And at this point, Baloo, who obviously knew this crash was about to happen, he's able to especially tuck and roll out of the ship or the seaplane and
Yeah.
sprint, snatching Babyface up from the ground who had just crashed and snatching Ma Barker, or not Ma Barker, Ma Babyface up
Yeah.
from the
I forgot her
ground.
name too for a second. I was
Yeah,
like,
called her the
"Phew."
actual
Yeah.
mom criminal, potentially.
Yes.
Rumor has it.
Rumor.
Who, yes, at this point too, there's plenty of holes in this sewer, and the backup that the cops had called all stream in to find Baloo, essentially holding Babyface and his mother up by their scruff, by their collars, and turning them in to the cops. And I guess this whole turning in Babyface plan kind of worked because, I mean, there was a reward for Babyface and Ma Babyface, their capture, because of course they were public enemies. And we cut to the cop station, and Baloo, he's got that reward money. He's cashing it in. He's standing there counting it. And as you mentioned in your earlier episode, Officer Malarkey walks right out. He says, he basically tells Baloo, yeah, Baloo, this should cover all those parking tickets you owe us for.
Oh, no. Of course.
And takes the entire wad of cash right from Baloo. So, as they walk away, Baloo promises it's him and Kit.
Yeah.
Baloo promises to never break the law again like he had been doing with all those parking tickets. And Kit basically says, oh, okay, because you've realized, even small crimes are real crimes, right, Baloo? And Baloo's like, no, they're just too expensive. And that's the end.
Which also true. That's the point.
It adds up. That's why they're expensive.
To deter bad behavior.
Exactly. And
amazing. Great job.
That's the end. Thank you.
Wow.
It was a hoot.
It was a hoot and it was hollering. That was
hooting and hollering.
Hooting and hollering because boy, oh boy. I wish we would have thought of that wild speculation about Kit earlier because it's making me go back and think so much about it.
Really
reconsider. That explains why he's so smart. Baloo's not actually stupid. Kit's just actually smart because he's a 40-year-old convict.
I would say, how do you think in your aquarium episode that they actually called in the full fucking Coast Guard at the end? Kit caught him.
Kit caught him. He's like, oh, I've got contacts in places you would never imagine.
Yeah, exactly. Called him in.
Yes.
This is actually partially Kit had to partially actually fake his own death because he had been a narc and a double agent at some point, ratting out the other gangsters to the FBI while also continuing his crimes. And he was like, it's getting too messy. I gotta get out.
I just gotta go. I want both parties to think I'm gone.
Yeah, exactly. No trace of me left behind here. So
amazing.
Yeah,
incredible.
It was great. From the second it walked out and it was Babyface half Nelson and then the Irish cop who was a pig, I was like, this is gonna be good. Am I gonna go downhill?
The Departed and an episode of TaleSpin, you say? Say less.
Say less. I'm here.
Also, it's funny, so you say Babyface and you think of Babyface like the criminal. I hear it and I think of Babyface, the R&B singer at first. So I know it's a mob name and a criminal's name and stuff, but I just know my brain every time was oh, Babyface, which is funny. He went to high school with my mom too. He's from Indianapolis.
Really?
So I'm always oh, Babyface, yeah, Kenny Edmonds, yeah.
That would be such a funnier, twist. This episode wasn't about gangsters at all.
Yeah, he's an R&B singer from the Midwest.
That's his cover.
Yeah, right.
That's his cover story to how he launders the money and that kind of stuff. He's just a famous singer.
I go on tour. It's
famous, R&B singer. International money then at that point.
All sorts of currencies. Wow, what a way for you to end your recapping of this show.
Yes, it was a great going out with a bang.
That is literally multiple bangs, TNT bangs, gunfire bangs, you name it.
Exactly. So between now and next week, which is your last TaleSpin episode, who should our listeners and viewers tell about the show?
I think you should tell someone who did criminal profiling. Someone who does criminal profile, like
we
the
know
things
someone
that
who said
create
that.
those. Yeah, you do. So it's funny. We're just talking about this. But
Wow.
the way that they come up with those lists, it's like they create the whole criminal profile and
Uh-huh.
everything, figure out how dangerous they are, why they do what they do.
Hell yeah.
So sorry if you have a criminal history and we're asking you to go talk to the
The person
man
profiling you.
person.
Which,
Exactly.
you know
You know
what?
what? Maybe it'll throw them off.
I'm gonna go small plug the book that just came out then by
Oh,
the
go for it. Yeah.
family friend that I know by a forensic psychologist.
Yeah.
That beast was not me. The beast was not me. One of those two titles by Jeffrey Smalden. He's a
Yeah.
family friend. He was a forensic psychologist for many decades and worked with Manson, John Wayne Gacy, Ted Bundy, an Ohio sniper serial killer who I had never heard of before, but
Ooh, the Kent
apparently
State.
exists.
Or no,
No,
he was
no,
killed. He was killed when
this was
never
someone totally
mind.
fucking different who just like would dress
Oh,
in
great. There's more
camo
than one.
and yeah, exactly, and was just a sniper. And anyways, I haven't gotten to that story yet in the book, but it's really good.
All right.
Anyways, that beast was not me. Go buy it. Black
Yes.
Lions Publishing.
And that's actually like a really good plug for this podcast too, for like
Yeah,
a crime-ish related one.
yeah.
Like,
I will
yeah,
say as
legitimate
a
plug,
side note,
people. Go look this
um,
book up. I'm gonna
my
look it up.
dad who listens to this podcast, hi dad, this is like his
Hey,
best
Dad.
friend, and he was like, you guys should have Jeff on, and I was like, Jeff is not going to want to be on this fucking show.
I mean, but how awesome would that be?
I was like, Dad, don't tell him to listen. This like forensic psychologist is going to listen to our buffoonery.
Yeah, we would have like one extremely serious episode thrown in, like all of this nonsense and chaos.
I went to his talk last week, and the question I asked him, I was like, "Did you ever get invited to like your like children's like career day at school to talk about what you did, or did your daughter not let you do that? Because what would you have said?" And so that was my
Yeah,
real serious question.
that was your question. I
Yeah.
mean, interesting question for sure. But he's
Yeah,
probably
he was like,
I've
"No."
never, no one's
He
asked
was
me that
like,
before,
"Grace,
but thank you,
no."
Grace.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
oh,
really
okay,
funny.
just wondering.
No, he was
Yeah.
very nice. Anyways, That Beast Was Not
So
Me. It's a
yes.
great book. Yeah,
Mhm.
firsthand from a forensic psychologist who also, yeah, he's worked in the industry for a long time. And then
Yeah.
after that, yeah, don't tell Jeff to listen to this podcast. That's not my next
Or
one.
do.
I think next you should tell a friend who's Irish.
Yeah.
Let them know, have them do their Irish accent for you. It's probably better than do
Prove
you know how to
it.
do an Irish accent? The Irish accent. It's really hard.
Sometimes.
It's
So
really
I can't,
hard.
I have to like, I have
You have to
to,
get into
I have
there's
to
only
ease
certain
into it. I
words
can't do
I
it off the top of my
understand.
head.
Okay,
Yeah,
go. All right,
something.
let's
I
cut
don't
off there.
know.
Those were two good
There it
sentences.
is.
That's it. Tell someone Irish who you
No,
know.
I can't do it. I can't do it. Sorry.
Nope,
You
we
guys
stopped
heard it. That
after
was
two
terrible.
lines. All right. Well, tell someone Irish you know.
Until next time.
And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for tuning in to Saturday Morning Mysteries.
If you enjoyed this episode, please share, rate, review, leave us a like, and drop a comment. We post episodes every Saturday and bonus tune tangents whenever we feel like it. So please subscribe so you don't miss the shenanigans.
And if you want to follow us on YouTube, click the bell under the YouTube subscribe button to receive notifications when new videos are posted.
And if you want to subscribe to the podcast, we have no idea what you're listening to us on, so just hit the big subscribe button on whatever app you're using. We believe in you.
Give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram at SatmornMist, all the abreves, and let us know if you have any episode or show requests by emailing SaturdayMorningMysteries@gmail.com.
Thanks to Jenna Kendall for the logo design and to Ava Sakiki for the music used during this week's episode.
See y'all groovy kids next week on Saturday Morning Mysteries.